Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I know you have tons of things to choose from here on the YouTubes, and appreciate you clicking back on Brian's Funhouse. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Thought a fun topic would be artists that have really let me down. Let me know in the comments below, what are some bands or artists that you used to follow, used to worship, used to be in your top 5, 10 bands of all time, and now you can't even look or listen to them. You're so disgusted. And not talking about them as people, because I know now on social media we get to know everything our artists ever think or thought or want to think. I'm just talking musically. Musically, you love them, not musically, eh. Of course, AC/DC and Metallica, they get a pass. They almost made this list because of how much I loved their early career, their first few albums. With AC/DC, of course, I was good with them until like flick of the switch, and then I stopped caring, really. It was like every weird cliche, play on words, cheesy pop heavy metal song would be their release, and then I didn't care much about the rest of the album. But the last album, and of course they're cleaning up their legacy. Brian Johnson's hopefully back with them, and that last album is really good. So yeah, I cleared them off the list. Metallica, same thing, up until the Black Album, huge fan, loved everything they did, saw them twice before the Black Album, have seen them live since, but their last album, and I think the one before that, has not been too bad. So they're again back off the list of, for me, top 5 artists, bands, whatever, that have, they're done. I'm done with them. No more. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about Record Store Day real fast. So, number 5, let's go with Aerosmith. My first introduction to them at the library when I was a kid, when you could check out albums. I used to check out Aerosmith. They had a few albums there, and I would check them out. My friend put their hits on cassette tape for me. So around, I don't know, I think this came out in 80, but around 82, 83 is probably when he, maybe that mixed cassette tape, and I could not stop listening to it. Back in the Saddle, Toys in the Attic, which I don't know if it was on this hit. No, it's not on this one actually, but it was a song that I knew from them, and I soon bought the album Toys in the Attic. Of course, Walk This Way, Last Child, Draw the Line, Sweet Emotion, Same Old Song and Dance, of course, Dream On. Yeah, Back in the Saddle. Back! Love, oh, come on. Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, they could do no wrong. Up until they all stopped doing drugs. And then they went from Aerosmith to Aero shit. Ragdoll, Love in an Elevator, MTV caught on them. People loved them. They got more poppy. I don't mind if a band is poppy, stays poppy, or if a band is rock and tries a little bit of poppy and they do it well. Aerosmith, I just thought, oh no. And now I could care less. Every once in a while, if I'm at a Goodwill, I'll see their CDs for like 99 cents and I'll try it. But it's usually stuff that I'll immediately sell back or just let friends have, because I don't know what happened to Aerosmith. I guess you guys were better when you all hated each other and were on lots of drugs, because yeah, your career went great, I guess, but for me, I just stopped caring. Yeah. Next band, number 4 for me, bands, artists I once loved. That would be my top 5 bands of all time at one point, and then now I don't care anymore. Sorry to say this, but Def Leppard. Oh my God, my first introduction to them, my friend had High and Dry. I listened to it like crazy. I went out and bought High and Dry and listened to it like crazy. Of course, then they broke it with Pyromania, and then really broke it with Hysteria. But yeah, this is a reissue of their first EP there. Really good stuff. What else we got here? We got When the Walls Come Down, show from 1980. Good stuff. Like I said, this is their first album, On Through the Night. Not sure what's going on back there. We got High and Dry, like I said. Their best album, hands down. Pyromania, they started to break into the mainstream, had some songs. MTV started to latch on a little bit. What do we got? Rock of Ages 12-inch single. And then Hysteria. I finally saw them on this tour. Yeah, they were getting more poppy. The drum sound obviously changed because Rick Allen lost his arm before this, so it had to be more electronic drum, obviously, but it wasn't bad. I liked Hysteria. After Hysteria, what was that? Adrenalized? Yeah, didn't like them too much more. And really around 89, 90, I started to explore college rock, indie rock, alternative rock, punk rock. So I had more choices of groups and artists to pick from because my head was expanding, my horizons were expanding. But if you were good, I was still listening to you. I was still able to support the bands that I loved. But man, oh man. This did come out. It's kind of a compilation. This is called Retroactive, and it officially came out after Adrenalized, or whatever the album is. But it's got some great stuff. It's got some earlier stuff on it. It's a fantastic album. Highly suggest picking this up. Yeah, so for me, number 4, and since then, I've seen them live because they always come around on tour with like Journey or some group, Heart, some band like that. And I'll check them out, but I'll only really enjoy the old stuff. Number 4, Def Leppard. Number 3, this would be like kind of a, I guess, newer band. In the 00s, nu metal was a big thing. I was living in Florida, a combo of living in Florida and having to listen to nu metal on radio. I don't mind 1 or 2 Linkin Park songs. I don't like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot. Nu metal is just junk. But coming from the ashes of rock and roll was a band that my friend was listening to in his car, and it just blew me away. I'm like, what is that? He goes, Muse. Muse? I gotta check that out. Now, they had 2 albums prior that I went and looked for it. Didn't really hit me as much. But their 3rd album, Absolution, is perfect. If you've always heard of Muse and you're kind of like in the cheesy band or the pop band, check out Absolution, man. This is a phenomenal record. I don't know if it's a concept album. To me, it kind of plays like a concept album. But 3-piece, I have a soft spot for 3-pieces. Love my Rush, my Triumph. And it's just good stuff. And I was like, man, this is going to be one of the next biggest bands ever in the history of big bands. Muse. Love them. Can't wait to see them live. And then I did. I went to see them live. Phenomenal show. And then they, Black Holes and Revelations. Like Absolution, to me, kind of plays all like a big concept album. Beautiful album. Matt and the Boys is great stuff. Great guitar rock. Now, they were starting to get, I guess, poppy-er. And then I was reading some articles where they're like, yeah, we like to, do a little bit of pop stuff. And they had a song on the Twilight. Remember the Twilight, the whole like vampire film series? They had a song that kind of cracked it into the Twilight thing. And I was getting a little worried. I was like, come on, boys. Don't worry too much about pop and trying to be hip. Let's just rock and roll, man. Just make some rock and roll. This is Muse. This is the... This is Symphony Parts 1 and 3, Uprising Alive from a tour. This is a nice little EP. I like to show off all my battle collection of these bands. And then I got this, and I was starting to lose it a little bit. The Resistance. And I went to see them on this tour. They still played great live. I was pretty happy with it. The song called United States of Eurasia. One of the best songs, like, lyrically and musically. A great song. So I was like, all right, they'll have a few good, a few bad. And then this came out, Drones, just kind of lost me. And I believe since Drones, they've had like 4 more albums, and I could just care less about them. I went from being a total fanboy to just caring less about the Muse. It wasn't doing it for me. So number 3 is the Muse. I forgot to mention, had a little piece of paper with some notes. Aerosmith, after I stopped caring for them, released 7 more albums. I guess I could say 6, because with the Mirrors one, Let the Music Do the Talking, I did like that song. So we'll say 6 albums after I could stop, care less about them. Def Leppard, after I liked their last album, have now released 8 albums after. Could care less about the last 8. Muse have had 4 that I just care less about. This guy has 7 albums. This band has 7 albums that I don't like after at all. Stopped liking them around 85. MTV was playing Don't Come Around Here No More. Great song, great single. But man, did I start loving me some Tom Petty and Heartbreakers early on. Tom Petty and Heartbreakers early on. Track 1, side 1, Refugee is the first video I ever saw on MTV. I went to a friend's house, 1980, let's say 3, I believe, and it was playing on TV, and I was blown away. Love Tom Petty, love early Tom Petty. Oh my God, just the slow songs, the upbeat rock and rollers. Listen to Her Heart, good stuff. The Waiting, oh man, come on. Tom Petty. He can do no wrong, right? He's perfect. TP. Got a live album here. Used to play this. Early on, Triumph had a live album, and this live album, probably the most two most well-played live albums in my collection ever. And like I said, Don't Come Around Here No More came off on a Southern Accents. I like the title track as well. And then after this, it was just blah. Jammin' Me was a single after this, the album after this. Free Fallin', I hate that song. Everything after, he got to be more like folky. I don't know what happened to Tom Petty. Tom Petty, what happened? R.I.P. We miss him, but me, I miss early Tom Petty, or than late Tom Petty. Number 2 is Tom Petty. And sad to say, number 1 artist that, man, oh man, was the center of my universe at some time. I mean, I did a scrapbook about the guy. I mean, it's just crazy. Every article I would read about him, this is before the internet, kids. So Hip Raider, Circus, Cream, any magazine that would have anything about him, I was just all about trying to figure him out. What's going on with this guy? He's so crazy. He's a family man. Well, Sharon always had to be the family man there. But I just loved everything about. Finally saw him on the Ultimate Sin tour. Was all about him. I thought, man, there's not going to be a point in my life where I just don't worship the Ozman. Started with this, sold this record from my brother, Blizzard of Oz, of course. You know, leaving Black Sabbath, everyone probably counted him out. But no, boom. And then, boom, Diamond Mountain, crazy. I have a video on here where this album goes against this album. Check it out, it's a cool video, if I might say so myself. Picture disc. I actually had so many picture discs and bootlegs of Ozzy. I've sold about half of my Ozzy stuff throughout the years because I just load up another bootleg Randy Rhoads on it. What do we got? Speak of the Devil. He's have a big poster of this as well. We got Tribute, of course. They re-released Crazy Train. That was huge on MTV. Bark the Moon. Mr. Jakey Lee on guitar, loved it. Finally saved up enough cash as a little kid to go see Ozman, I believe, in 86. I forgot when this came out. 86, yeah, I believe that's the year I saw him on this tour. Metallica opened up. I have a video about that, too. Ultimate Sin, some old-time Ozzy fans didn't like as much. I still loved it. I'm like, he can do no wrong. Got a picture disc, Ultimate Sin. This album I really loved. New guitar player, Zakk Wylde. I loved it. I had a cassette tape at the time before I bought the album. Loved it. Played it in my little Walkman type thing all the time. I thought, man, Ozzy, he's the best. He's going to be my favorite forever and ever. Even into No More Tears. You know, I was like, whatever. He's kind of slipping a little bit. Like I said, around this time, my music horizons were expanding, but still love the Ozman. And then after this, man, oh man, I just could care less about the Ozman. I mean, the Osbournes TV show is more entertaining to me than his releases. And I think after I stopped caring about him around 91 with No More Tears, he put out 7 more albums. And I do have his last 2, but they're not enough to erase all the stuff in between. It's just, yeah, I buy it because it's Ozzy and I buy it, but I'm no way into it. I don't have any, I don't know. Number 1 letdown for me, band artist, Ozzy Osbourne. Now, record store day. Like a lot of record store days, oh man, the flippers were out strong. I had to work. So I knew I didn't have a chance in hell to go to the store after work. I worked till 4 o'clock. I knew all the stores from like 8 to 11 a.m. around here were just packed with people. You know, the kind of flipping I see, I don't mind general flipping. Something's out for a while. You're at a flea market, garage sale. I don't mind. I hate the record store day flipping now where people are only getting in line. Could care less about the music and other fans only getting in line so that they can pull a copy, take their picture, or sitting in their car, or even I've seen people do it before they even leave the freaking store, put it on eBay 3-4 times the amount. Us fans get screwed over enough. We don't need fellow fans screwing us over. That kind of flipping I hate, and I know people are trying to stop it. I know stores are trying to do their best, but damned if eBay wasn't filled with albums as soon as, you know, crack of dawn from people just flip. It's disgusting. And you're like, well, you would do it too. No, I haven't. I would not flip something. I was in line once. It got 3 albums. I was going to get some more. I was looking at, what was it at the time? UFO Live. One of their exclusives live. Heard a dude behind me, a few people behind me, like, oh man, I was really looking for that. I let it go. I already have a few UFO Live albums. I don't need to own everything. And I was there when the Taylor Swift RSD things were there. Flipping through, I saw some people in line, younger kids, I thought, I'll just leave it for them, you know? So yeah, I've had a chance to be a jerk flipper with some higher price items that have gone up, and I've passed on it, because I think we all should try to be a better person. Anyway, one of the things I was hoping to get was this, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Cooler Than Jesus. This is the original 12-inch single. They are re-released like EP. I used to have a cassette tape version of the EP. I think it's got like 5 or 6 songs. I was hoping to get it. It's still sitting around 80. I mean, I think originally it was like $24.99. It's still sitting anywhere from 80 to 120 on eBay. I might play the long game, but like I said, I probably really don't need it that much because I do have the 2 cool songs from it. But yeah, this was instantly flipped. I did, store started to put their stock they didn't sell on eBay shortly after. I did pick up the 2 things I really wanted from that. One was Tinted Windows. Had the CD, have the CD, anxious to get it on vinyl. Of course, Tinted Windows is former drummer Cheap Trick, Buddy Carlos, one of the Hanson boys, Tyler Hanson singing, and then James Eha from Smash Pumpkins. So it was like a super group. Was eager to see that. That was going 100-something plus on eBay from all the instant flippers. I waited out a little bit for the hoopla, and then stores usually start putting their inventory on the next day. And then last but not least, the thing I wanted at Record Store Day. They had a few things that were re-releases of albums I already have, so I didn't really need to get releases. But one of my favorite bands from the Chicago area, Illinois area per se, Digits, Rick Sims and the Digits. So glad to get this. Like, it's a hits album with, I mean, all their albums are great, so pick them all up if you see them. But it's got, you know, all their I guess their hits and then some other unreleased stuff, so totally looking forward to that coming in the mail. Had to pay about $18 more than what I was seeing the average store list for it, so the store added a little bit when they listed it the eBay, but I don't mind paying a little more, but I'm not going to pay those insane flipper prices. So that's my Record Store Day thingy. Oh, wait, yeah, this is one of those ones I was talking about where I already have Dead Milkin', great band, Bucky Fellini. They did a reissue of this, and people are just a little highlight them, kind of, sort of. But yeah, I didn't go out, but I don't need to because I have the original. That's how cool I am. Thanks for watching.